Welcome to my morning routine, which typically starts around 6 a.m. This is my alarm clock I'm obsessed with. It makes it feel like the sun is rising and the birds are chirping. I've never had an easier time with an alarm clock in my life. I also recently purchased this little candle set, and it feels very romantic to read and journal by candlelight in the morning before the others are awake. And don't ask me why I sit on the couch backwards. I know this is not the way that you're supposed to sit on the couch, but this is for whatever reason what I do. In the mornings, first thing I usually do is journal. I like to write at least 2 pages of free write, just whatever's on my mind, trying to get everything out. But I also have a few prompts. So I ask myself what I'm feeling today, what feelings I'm calling in, ways to show love to me, our little, and my husband, 3 ways I can seek pleasure that day, and 3 things I need. And then I fill those out. I also just keep journaling, keep free writing for a little while. This is about a 30-minute long process, I would say. And once that's done, we move on to reading. So right now, when I was recording this, I was reading Crying in H Mart, which was very good. And so I just take a few minutes. I usually just read 1 chapter in the morning. And right now there's no rules around what that looks like. I'm just reading whatever I'm reading. I used to only read nonfiction in the morning, and then that started to feel a bit restrictive. So now I just read whatever book I'm reading right now. Trying not to read more than 1 at a time. Once that's over, it's usually around 7 a.m. and I'll do a bit of yoga. Every day yoga is different. Some days I will do a guided video. Some days I just do whatever feels right for my body that day. It really just depends on what my body's feeling like, what I think I need, and also just what my energy levels are. The deal that I make with myself is that I just show up on the mat. So if some days I want to just meditate, also great. Most days I try to do at least 1 sun salutation, if not 3. But otherwise, we just kind of feel it out. Every day is different. And then I brush my teeth. I'm the kind of person who brushes her teeth before eating and coffee. I just don't really like the way it tastes to drink coffee with morning breath. I also read recently that you're supposed to brush your teeth before you have coffee and food because it protects from stains. So, fun fact, I always thought I was weird. And then I usually do my skincare, which I keep really simple these days. In the morning, I don't even use a cleanser. I just use water on a washcloth to wash my face. And then I use a moisturizer. This is the Laneige Vitamin C moisturizer. It's a brightening one. I put that on my face and on my chest. It's also good for sun exposure. It helps to make your sunscreen stronger. This is the Good Molecules Under Eye Cream. It's got mate in it or something. I don't know. And I use that. It's actually really good. And then Laneige lip mask. Then at 7:30, we take the kiddo to school. A lot of times Obi does this, and I'm kind of getting things ready while he's gone, but this day he was working, so I did it. And it's kind of fun to be the one taking him to school. And I'm listening to a lot of Matilda right now by Harry Styles, so listening to that on the way home. When I get home, it's time to make coffee, finally. It's usually, 7:45 around this time. If Obi takes the kiddo to school, I go ahead and start the coffee while he's dropping the kiddo off, and then we'll have coffee together. We like to have coffee together as many mornings as we can. If we can't have it together in the mornings, we'll try and catch it up on the afternoons. It's just a time in the day where we kind of always know we're going to get to see each other and spend time together. This morning, again, he was working, so I just make coffee for myself, and typically we have a cappuccino in the morning. We really love this espresso machine. It's the one from Breville. It's the Barista Pro, and we're big fans. And we just can make, really good coffee at home, which is pretty much the highlight of my day. now that it's warm out, I'm trying to open the windows in the morning just to get fresh air flowing and really keeping them open for as much of the day as possible. If it gets hot in midday, we'll close the windows and just kind of keep the cool in. But otherwise, I'm trying to keep the windows open as much as I possibly can while we can. So like I said, normally I would sit down and have coffee with Obi, but this morning I just kind of sat down and enjoyed it with myself and had the best time. And this is so good. This coffee is so good. This is me trying to show you with my hands how good it is. And for breakfast, I am making some toast. This is some bread I made over the weekend, and we just need to kind of use it up. So I'm making 2 pieces of toast, one savory and one sweet. So for the first piece, it's just a little bit of butter, and then I put some pesto on and topped that off with some Asiago cheese just to have a little bit of that, I don't even know what you would call it, like bite? That's not right. But some of that like cheesy flavor. I just got this pesto from Fresh Market. Sometimes we make our own with kale, which is really good, but that's not the vibe today. And for the sweet toast, this is just a little bit of ricotta cheese mixed with honey, and I'm topping it off with raspberries and a little bit of cinnamon. Honestly, this breakfast was really good. And before I eat, I gotta take my medicine, my vitamins and my medicines, some of which I have to take on an empty stomach. So usually I try to take it earlier than that, but right now, just right before we eat breakfast, because I remembered. And while I eat breakfast, I like to typically watch a YouTube video, and today I'm doing that. And then right after, I do my cleaning up. So I clean up the dishes, I straighten up anything in the house, and then I usually make the bed. I just like to have, especially if I'm working from home, I just want things to feel nice and set the tone for the rest of the day. Sometimes, I don't do this if I'm not feeling really well, or maybe if I'm in a bit of a rush, or I'm feeling resentful of like being an adult, I'll skip it. But most days I try to do it, and knowing that I'm going to do it right after breakfast really helps me to just make it a habit. This is probably the hardest one for me to maintain because, it's not as fun. So, but yeah, I do it most days, and it does make the house feel better, especially if I'm working from home. It helps me to focus and really just focus on what I have to do instead of thinking about all the things that I need to get done. And then this is the newest part of my morning routine and maybe my favorite. I've added in a little bit of just kind of spiritual time to be in kind of a place with my soul, if you will. I think that's the easiest way to say it. Especially with it being warm out, I started sitting outside and lighting an incense. Each incense lasts for 25 minutes. So the way I do it is I light it, and then I have all of my supplies. So I have oracle cards or tarot cards. I have a spiritual journal just for this time. And then I want to get really into guided journals. So I got this guided journal that I'm really enjoying. And then I just see what happens. I don't have to do all of those things. I don't have any rules around it. I just, other than I'm going to sit there for 25 minutes. This morning I wanted to do some alternate nostril breathing. It really helps to activate your parasympathetic nervous system and just be more grounded and present and calm in your body. So I did that for a while, and I sat there and then just kind of waited for what I wanted to do next. I really love the view into our living room from this porch. It just feels so cottagey. Makes me really happy. So then I ended up pulling some oracle cards. These are a new deck that I got. These are called like the element cards, but I'm really enjoying them. I'm pretty much using them every day right now because I'm just kind of getting to know them, which is really fun. And other than that, I would probably switch it up more often if I hadn't just purchased these and was kind of wanting to get to know them. But yeah, I pull 3 cards. I just kind of wait until the time feels right. The way I use them really is kind of thought provokers or journaling prompts. I don't think of them as like the spirits telling me what to do or what to think or what the future holds. It's more just like, here are some things to think about today and some ways that you could question yourself or things to ask. And that is that. So I'm just taking some time in my spiritual journal to reflect on each of these cards and what that might mean for my life. And once the 25 minutes are over, I start getting ready for the day. So this was the day where I'm just staying home. So I didn't do a ton. I just kind of checked my hair out and put it right back up in a bun. And then I did not really much else. I put on a little bit of eyebrow cream, which you'll see in a minute. Eyebrow cream is not the right term. Eyebrow gel. This is the Boy Brow from Glossier in the shade Auburn. It's not my favorite, but it's good, you know, especially for just like a day I'm staying at home. I don't need it to last forever. And then I'm changing clothes. Again, just changing into something I can wear around the house. This is just like a simple little cotton dress. And I don't know, I put earrings in because it made me feel, it felt nice. By this time, it is probably close to 10 a.m. and I like to make myself a tea. So in the office, I keep some tea bags in my office desk. And at home right now, I'm enjoying this chai latte for the Keurig from Tazo. I think they're discontinued, but I ordered them off Amazon. And you can just put it in the Keurig, and then you get like this milky powder that makes it really creamy and sweet. Yeah, but I've been doing tea around 10 a.m. just because it makes me feel like it's time to work. It's like a little trigger for my brain that it's time to focus. And the first thing that I do when I sit down to work is really just get the lay of the land. Usually by this time, I've already prioritized my tasks for the day. I know what's going to happen. But what I like to do is just take my to-do list from physical paper form and type it up into digital form, and then I just follow it word for word, all the way down in order. But friends, that's it. Now I just work for the rest of the day and move on. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.